Lucas Grant arrives at a lavish wedding with a quiet, mysterious woman on his arm. The moment they enter, the crowd's laughter shifts into whispers. "He brought a homeless woman?" And all eyes turn to them. Vanessa Cole, the bride, freezes when she recognizes the woman, Elena. For a heartbeat, fear flashes across her face before she hides it behind a polished smile. Her new husband, Ethan Ward, looks shaken, nearly dropping his drink when he spots Elena. Hours earlier, Lucas had been staring at the wedding invitation, his ex-fiancée Vanessa's name beside Ethan's. The humiliation still stung, and though he could have ignored it, pride pushed him to go. He drove through the rain, only to see a woman huddled beneath a cafe awning. Drenched but composed, she wasn't begging, just existing quietly against the storm. He offered her his umbrella, then tea. She accepted, only if he joined her. Over steaming mugs, they talked. She refused his money, asked only to be treated like a person. When she said her name, Elena, he realized she knew of his work from a shelter his company renovated. Something about her calm honesty disarmed him. Without thinking, he asked, "Come to a wedding with me." She studied him, saw through his wounded pride, and agreed on one condition: "No one gets humiliated because of me." He promised. The next day, he bought her a simple navy dress. In the mirror, Elena touched her hair softly, whispering, "I remember you," as if greeting a lost version of herself. And now, in the ballroom, Vanessa ushers them to sit close to the main table, masking tension behind charm. Elena politely chooses a table farther back. Vanessa's smile tightens. A guest in emerald leans forward, asking where they met. "Under a storm," Elena says simply. "It passed." The guest frowns, unsatisfied. Across the room, Ethan can't stop staring. His composure unravels as he pretends to mingle. Elena senses his gaze. "Who is he?" she asks quietly. Lucas answers, "The groom. Ethan Ward." Her voice drops. "Ah. Not today. Once." The implication hangs heavy. When Vanessa makes her first toast, to old stories ending and better ones beginning, she aims it like a dagger. Then she invites Lucas to speak. His reply is short and calm: "I wish you peace." The MC, oblivious to the tension, turns to Elena. "Would you like to say a word?" A trap disguised as kindness. The room waits. Elena stands anyway. "Some of us don't get to choose the stories told about us," she says evenly. "But truth waits." The room falls silent. Ethan looks crushed. Vanessa laughs too loudly, tapping her glass to shatter the moment. Back at the table, Lucas murmurs, "You okay?" Elena replies, "I'm not a firework. I don't exist to explode on cue." He smiles, seeing her quiet strength. Around them, whispers ripple, pitying, mocking, curious. She cleans up well. Lucas is doing charity with style. Look at Ethan's face, he's going to faint. Vanessa returns, voice dripping sweetness. "Elena, I hope the dress is comfortable. We could have tailored something if you'd told me your size." Elena answers softly, "It's perfect. And kindness is the best fit." Vanessa's smile falters. "I hope you know where you are." Elena meets her gaze. In a room where everyone is pretending this is about love. The bride's breath catches. She laughs like it's a joke, but the tension cracks her poise. Meanwhile, Ethan's control crumbles. His best man nudges him. "Mate, you good." Ethan mutters, "Do you see her? The woman with Lucas." "She's no one," the man says. Ethan's reply is raw. "She's not no one." Music swells. Couples move to the dance floor. Lucas offers Elena his hand. "For 2 minutes." She hesitates. "I don't like being watched." "They'll watch either way," he says. "Might as well move." She lets him guide her to the edge of the dance floor, where the noise fades into rhythm. "Breathe," he tells her. "I am," she says. "I'm just counting the breaths." He asks quietly, "Why did you say yes to this?" She answers, "Because you asked without hunger. And I'm tired of hiding from rooms. They're only rooms." He confesses, "I don't know if I brought you here to heal me or to hurt her." She replies, "Maybe neither. Maybe you brought me to tell yourself the truth out loud." "Which is?" he asks. "That you deserved tenderness," she says softly, "and you didn't get it." The words cut deep. Lucas swallows hard. "You talk like you've seen the inside of a storm." Elena's eyes hold his. "I have." Across the room, Vanessa's perfect smile starts to splinter. She grips her napkin, pulling the threads loose, unraveling it like her own composure. Ethan stands frozen, torn between guilt and longing. Elena's calm presence has stripped every mask from the room. Vanessa's control, Ethan's denial, Lucas's pride. In the end, the ballroom glitters as before, but nothing feels the same. The whispers have changed tone. Some are cruel, others curious, a few even awed. Lucas's defiance isn't loud, it's steady, human. Elena doesn't belong there, yet somehow she owns the space by refusing to perform. Every movement, every quiet answer, exposes the falseness around her. The night began as revenge, but it becomes something else, a reckoning. Lucas realizes he didn't bring Elena to humiliate Vanessa or soothe his ego. He brought her because she reminded him what grace looks like when you have nothing left to prove. Elena came not to reclaim her past, but to stand in it without apology. As the music fades and the cameras flash one last time, the power dynamic flips. Vanessa's diamonds sparkle, but her smile is hollow. Ethan looks like a man haunted. And Lucas, steady, quiet Lucas, walks Elena out the way they came in hand. The whispers follow, but this time they sound different. Less cruel, more curious, maybe even admiring. The woman everyone mocked when she walked in leaves as the only one who told the truth. Behind them, Vanessa sits rigid at her head table, napkin shredded, pretending the night went as planned. But the tremor in her fingers says otherwise. And somewhere deep inside, even she knows, the story has already changed. The wedding cake arrives like a monument, flawless and gleaming. As the MC speaks about sweetness and new beginnings, Elena watches Vanessa Cole, the bride, hold a knife and thinks how steel can mean danger as much as celebration. Ethan Ward, the groom, can't help himself. He steps away from the head table, eyes fixed on Elena as if she's gravity. "Elena," he whispers, stunned. She meets his gaze calmly. "Hello, Ethan." Lucas, beside her, senses a history he hadn't known existed and steps slightly aside, giving space without leaving her side. Ethan stammers, "I thought you were erased," she replies. "That was the point." Vanessa rushes to his side, smiling for the crowd but clutching his arm like a leash. "Ethan, darling, guests are waiting." He ignores her. "Elena, can we talk?" Vanessa's mask cracks. "Who is this?" Elena answers evenly, "No one important." The words hit like glass between them. Furious, Vanessa calls for security, but Elena only says, "Boundaries are lovely, when they aren't drawn on someone else's skin." Lucas intervenes, voice calm but cutting, "Vanessa, stop. No one's causing a scene." Vanessa snaps, "You already are one," then sneers at Elena. "Where did he find you?" "A shelter." "It's sweet. He cleans up what the city discards." Elena's voice sharpens. "I wasn't discarded. I was pushed." Across the room, wealthy men whisper cruel jokes. Ethan turns on Vanessa, anger replacing confusion. "Tell me the truth. About 8 years ago." "About her." Vanessa freezes, pretending not to understand. "We will not ruin this night with your brother's ghost." "My sister," Ethan says, and the words fracture the room. The music dies. The crowd hushes. Elena doesn't retreat. "My name is Elena Ward," she says, voice steady though she speaks without a microphone. "I was declared missing 8 years ago after funds were moved from accounts under my name. They were not mine. The signatures were forged. I said so." No one listened. Gasps ripple through the hall. Vanessa spits, lies. "Security." Someone in the crowd starts filming. Ethan's face crumbles. "Dad said," "Dad lied," Elena says gently, "to protect his reputation. You were 24. You believed him. I forgive that. But I won't disappear for you again." Vanessa forces a brittle laugh. "If you were who you say, you'd have proof." "If only someone had kept copies of server logs," Elena says mildly. Vanessa blanches. "You can't have—" "I can have courage," Elena replies. Tonight, that's enough. Silence settles heavy as snowfall. Lucas watches her, realizing he came for revenge but found something better, truth breaking through spectacle. Ethan reaches for his sister but stops. Elena, don't apologize just to soothe yourself, she says kindly. Apologize when you mean to repair what's broken. Vanessa explodes. Out. Both of you. Elena meets her gaze. Banishment only works if the person agrees to vanish. The MC tries to recover the night by calling for the cake, but no one listens. The tension hums. Lucas leans close. We can leave on our feet. That's a good end. Not the end, Elena says. The first truth said out loud. Vanessa's father, Mr. Ward, strides forward, power and money in his voice. This is a wedding, not street theater. Then stop performing, Elena replies. The crowd gasps. Mr. Ward steps toward her, menace behind his composure. Lucas moves smoothly between them. You're frightening the guests, he says coldly. I own this room, Mr. Ward growls. No, Elena says. You rented it. A few guests laugh, startled but admiring. Mr. Ward orders security to escort them out. The guards approach, hesitant. Ma'am, sir, we'll have to ask. To leave because I said my name? Elena asks quietly. They falter. Lucas takes her hand. We'll go, he says to Vanessa, eyes steady. But you know this doesn't end here. Elena looks up at him. We. If you want we, he says, you have it. They walk out, the whispers now a low hum behind them. Elena's posture is straight, gaze forward. Outside, the rain has stopped, the air feels new. Lucas holds the umbrella over them both. I didn't expect that, he admits. Neither did I, she says. But it's true. He asks why she didn't tell him. I wasn't sure I could say it without shattering. You didn't shatter, he says. No, she answers. I didn't. When he offers to drive her, she says she has a place now, a real room, not a doorway. A friend with keys. He nods. The ride is quiet except for the rhythm of tires on wet streets. I brought you to hurt someone, Lucas says. You brought me to meet myself. Elena smiles faintly. You're allowed to be kind to yourself now. She texts a friend, Joy, to say she's safe. Lucas chuckles. Joy sounds like a dynasty. She's a retired nurse who curses at kettles, Elena says. Dynasty enough. He tells her words about truth felt like waking up. She says, you can hit play any time. It's a choice. At her building, she thanks him for the umbrella and for standing when you didn't have to. He gestures toward her. You stood first. She goes upstairs, where Joy opens the door before she knocks. I watched the live stream, Joy says. You set a table and served truth. Elena hugs her. It was time. You were never what they called you, Joy says. I know, Elena whispers. And for once she does. Meanwhile, Lucas stands in his penthouse, the city below glittering. The wedding invitation still lies on his table, but it no longer feels like a wound, just a test he's finally passed. By morning, the story spreads everywhere. Missing heiress Elena Ward returns, Ward family under scrutiny. Vanessa's public statement says everything and nothing. Ethan vanishes from public view. Lucas calls his assistant Maya. I need a legal team, he says. For what? Something for women who want to step back into their names. Not charity, a path. Maya pauses, then smiles through the phone. I know who to call. He hangs up, staring at his reflection. Don't make it about guilt, he tells himself. Make it useful. At Joy's table, Elena scrolls through a flood of messages. Apologies, manipulations, opportunists. She deletes them all except one from Ethan. Please. Talk to me. Let me make it right. Joy pours tea. What will you do? I'll see him, Elena says. But not alone. Joy smirks. Take the rich one. Elena laughs. He has a name. You used it. Joy teases. Elena glances at the blue sky through the window. Lucas, she says quietly, testing it. Yes. I'll ask Lucas. In one night, humiliation turned to revelation. The woman they mocked stood her ground, reclaimed her name, and exposed the lies that buried her. Lucas, who came seeking revenge, found redemption. Vanessa lost her facade, Ethan faced his guilt, and Elena finally stepped out of the shadow of her family's silence. Truth, it turns out, was the only thing in the room powerful enough to cut through the gold. Elena, Lucas, and Ethan meet in a small cafe, neutral ground between the wedding chaos and the past. Ethan arrives torn up and ashamed. He admits their father told him Elena was sick and had run, and that he chose safety, which now feels like cowardice. He brings a folder of evidence, logs, authorizations, and a forensic report showing the money transfers were routed through ward servers, not Elena's. It cannot return her 8 years, but it proves the fraud. He says he wants to stand against their father and Vanessa and accepts the cost. Elena tells him to hand everything to lawyers outside the ward orbit. He has already contacted the state attorney. Lucas offers to wait outside when they meet officials, but Elena anchors him with a touch and says he is part of this. After Ethan leaves, Elena admits the aftermath is harder than the public revelation. Lucas outlines a practical response, a fund for housing, legal aid, and re-entry support. Elena names it the Elena Hope Project, reclaiming her name with purpose. They build quietly with Maya, Rohit, and Joy. It is calls, forms, and simple meals, not headlines. Media spin comes and goes. Vanessa stages a Second Chances gala. Mr. Ward threatens lawsuits. Ethan moves out to start making amends. At the center, Elena and Lucas fall into an easy rhythm that becomes intimacy. He carries boxes without fanfare. She accepts help without apology. Over noodles and long days, belonging turns into a gentle romance. One night, after joking about a label maker, Elena asks if he will ever ask her out. He worries about timing and optics. She reminds him he first saw her when she refused his money. They go for roast chicken at an unfussy place, trade stories of worst deals and best unlikely birthdays, and share a first kiss that is quiet and real. The state attorney holds a press conference. Mr. Ward looks out of position. Vanessa prepares to recast herself as a victim. Ethan steps up and says, "I was wrong," pulling public attention and sympathy. Charges under review are listed. Rohit tells Elena this is only the beginning, that it will be slow and worth it. When reporters ask for her comment, Elena says she is not an idea but a person. She asks the public to believe people when they say who they are, and to pick up the pieces when they break something. Lucas hugs her afterward and suggests rest. She says yes, after 2 meetings and a sandwich, and teases him to prove he can handle lettuce. Back at the center that evening, a woman named Leah arrives with a bruise and a wavering voice. She says she saw Elena on TV and heard her say that names matter. Elena opens the door and tells her she is not late, only here, and that breathing is enough for a first visit. Lucas watches, moved. He is not the hero. He is the scaffolding, the worker who learns the label maker and locks up at night. Later he records a note to his future self. Remember the exact quiet, Elena's hand on the door, and the way Leah's shoulders dropped when someone spoke her name. Build more of this. The revenge that drew him into the ballroom has evolved into repair. Ethan begins to make real amends. Vanessa clings to performance. Mr. Ward loses his grip on the story. Elena stands in her name, builds a path for others to do the same, and lets a careful love grow in the space she cleared with the truth. Months roll forward unevenly. Investigations drag on. Mr. Ward tries to reinvent himself with a PR firm that paints him as a kindly grandfather. Vanessa starts a podcast about healing from betrayal, carefully inviting only those who'll agree with her. Some people believe her, others see the performance. Meanwhile, the Elena Hope Project quietly becomes real life. Saad, jobless for a decade, lands a position and brings cupcakes tasting of cinnamon and gratitude. Miriam learns how to file a restraining order without crying in the courthouse bathroom. Leah returns, unashamed now, laughing at a bad joke about staplers. The center hums with the sound of repair. Elena and Lucas grow into each other's ordinary. She hates shoe stores. He hates shallow parties. She collects second-hand mugs. He owns 5 identical black sweaters. They share oranges from the fridge at midnight. They fight once, over a donor wanting his name carved across a door. Lucas argues that money is money, Elena insists names matter. They cool off, then he returns with a smaller plaque and a larger donation. She kisses him in a supply cupboard, because some compromises bloom best in the dark. Ethan arrives one afternoon, shaking. They're pressing charges, he says, against their father and 2 of the finance men. Vanessa may follow. He still sounds protective, ashamed of it. Elena tells him, "You told the truth. The rest is theirs." He vows to testify. Lucas deflects Ethan's thanks with humor. "I was busy learning lettuce." They laugh together, a quiet miracle. Summer arrives, and the center hosts a small picnic. Joy commands the grill, kids chase bubbles, and Elena wears a sundress the color of beginning. Sitting beside her, Lucas asks, "You happy?" She considers it. "Yes. Not because magic fixed me, because I'm the one holding the broom." He leans his forehead to hers. "I love you," he says, calm and certain. "I love you too," she answers, and they eat plantains instead of making speeches. The trial crawls forward. Elena testifies not as a victim but as a mapmaker clearing a path. Ethan tells the truth, cries afterward, and Joy quietly hands him a tissue. Mr. Ward looks diminished. Vanessa sits upright, dabbing at tears that might be real. The jury listens like people who recognize missing pieces. The verdict feels less like triumph and more like a door pushed open by many hands. Mr. Ward is convicted. Vanessa avoids prison but loses her polished world. Ethan, outside court, says only, "Truth has a cost. Pay it, then keep going." Back at the center, Elena gathers everyone. "We did a hard thing. We'll do more. Today we sit in the middle and call it good." Lucas, watching her, feels his heart used rather than displayed. When the room empties, he laces his fingers through hers. "Dinner?" he asks, because normal is the point now. They cook at home, burn the garlic bread, and eat it anyway. Later, with the city breathing outside their window, he asks, "Do you ever think about the ballroom?" She smiles. "Sometimes. Mostly about the door, and how it didn't hit me when I left." He laughs. "That door learned manners." "You did too," she teases. "I had a teacher," he says. Weeks later, their first fundraiser fills the center with warmth, not spectacle. Elena welcomes everyone. "If you want a story, ask the women here. Ask what she builds next. Don't ask for a performance, ask for a part." Lucas, watching from the back, feels the world tilt to true north. Outside afterward, beneath a calm night sky, he pulls out a small box. Elena laughs. "If that's a label maker, I'll kiss you right here." "It's not," he says, nervous despite everything. "It's a ring, but not a claim. I'm asking if you'll build mornings and paperwork with me. Maybe share a mailbox, or make the mailman earn his pay." Inside the box is a simple ring, a promise, not a billboard. She says yes, to mornings, to the word hour, to everything they built the long way. Their wedding is small and honest. Joy cries and blames onions. Maya pretends not to be moved, then admits she is. Ethan stands quietly smiling. There's no towering cake, just Joy's lemon tart and a card that reads, "Everyone has a story. Be kind." Vanessa isn't invited, not out of spite, but clarity. Afterward, Lucas and Elena slip away and walk home, laughing about lettuce. Inside, surrounded by basil plants she insists on growing everywhere, he tells her, "You saved me." "I saved me," she answers, "then let you see it." He nods. "That was the invitation I wanted." Morning comes. The center wakes. Lucas makes bad coffee. Elena drinks it anyway. Joy rearranges chairs. Ethan delivers donated laptops, pretending he didn't cry in the car. Rohit drafts new policy notes. Maya answers emails. Warmer now. Elena pauses at the front door, smiling at the sign, Elena Hope Project, because at last it carries its proper weight. A woman on the sidewalk hesitates. Elena opens the door. "You're not late," she says. "You're here." The woman nods and steps inside. The door closes with that sound doors make when they're held, not slammed. Sometimes Elena still dreams of the ballroom. But now, when she says her name, the echo comes back in harmony. Voices of Joy, Ethan, Lucas, Leah, Saad, Miriam, a choir that knows the song by heart. Lucas watches her writing on the whiteboard, remembering umbrellas and storms. The moment laughter turned into listening, the line that changed him, truth waits. He knows what he'll say when someone asks why he, a billionaire, did all this. Because love isn't a feeling first. It's a structure you build so people don't fall through. He sets down the marker beside her, takes her hand, and they go to work. Proof that repair, not revenge, was always the point. And if you're still here, if the story made you breathe deeper or feel braver, hit subscribe so you catch the next one, like the video so it reaches someone who needs it, and drop a comment telling Elena which moment gave you goosebumps. Stories move faster when many hands carry them.